Hello, I'm Grandmaster Finegold. Today, for those of you in the audience, not for you at home, is the last round of the U.S. Championship, which he went to. He's our spy. He was in St. Louis last week. Yeah, he saw the U.S. Championship. He sat next to Rex, and some of the money rubbed off or something. Okay, now, as you all know, there's two possible results in chess. Somebody wins or nobody wins.
It's draw.
Right. And what I did was I took every game in the U.S. Championship and I got rid of all the draws. And that's what's left. So there's been 24 games where somebody won. And we're going to look at all 24 very briefly, except for one we won't look at briefly because I want to look at it a lot. Okay. So, and then the other games were all draws. Probably the most interesting draw for the tournament standings was the game Caruana Nakamura, where Nakamura was winning the whole game and then didn't win, which would have basically given the championship to Shankland, but
yeah,
that didn't happen.
Top two.
What's that?
Caruana's top two.
Right, remember, no talking unless you raise your hand, and don't raise your hand.
You mean when Naka was winning all the way?
Right, what did I say? Caruana was winning? Terrible. Yeah, scratch that, edit that out. You with some crazy comment.
Nakamura is in the lower place than Caruana.
He's in the lower place than like us, and we're not even playing in the tournament. Yeah. Okay, now yesterday, as you all know, that means they don't know it. There were 3 players of the championship who hadn't won a game, and they all won yesterday. And for $1 million, name all 3. Yeah, that's what I thought. You! Awonder. Naka.
Wesley So.
No, he didn't. He won the first 2 rounds and hasn't won since. Yeah. I'll give you a hint. Now, then you would know if I gave you a hint.
Jeffrey Xiong?
Yeah, you're looking at the results? That'll give it away.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Jeffrey Xiong is right.
Yeah.
Okay, and also Jeffrey Xiong won a draw on King and Pawn endgame. So that was suspicious, yeah. Okay, so Wesley's done this before. I don't understand. Somebody explain it to me. Wesley has played many tournaments where he, after 2, 3, 4 rounds, wins all of his games and never wins again. He does it a lot. And when he won the Singfield Cup, he just kept drawing, and got clear first. It didn't make any sense. But he did it this tournament. He won his first 2 games, and then he has 8 draws in a row. But he does that a lot, so he's going to come in third this time. So he played Zherebukh in the first round, somebody you haven't heard of, but who I know, of course. And some of you might have heard of him. Okay, and actually there was a really nice tactic missed. So you can see how boring this is, confusing the audience. Okay, it's boring because nobody took anything, right? And then Wesley played B5, and now it's all exciting, right? The mood all changed. It was Eminem's favorite move. And at some point in this game, pretty early, Wesley had a winning tactic but didn't play it. Let's see what it was. Yeah, I have to go back. There was some move that was like plus 1,000 and he missed it. Also, his opponent missed it. Okay, so let's see when the red light comes on. There we go. Oh wait, so King H1 is a blow. He played Knight C2. Wait, am I imagining this? Oh, I thought he was completely winning earlier than this. This was like 2 weeks ago, so I'm confused. All right, so maybe not. So actually, Knight C2 is a pretty cool tactic for this class. Okay, see this position? Notice this is pinned because I said so. And then Wesley said, I am so. So he played Knight C2 and said, pin revoked. Notice every piece is attacked, confusing the class, right? This is attacked, 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 which you didn't see, and the bishop's attacking the queen. Queen's pretty important though, right? Okay, so the problem is, if you take the queen, and I take the queen, your rook is attacked, and your pawn is attacked, and you can't save them both. And so that's what happened. The other problem is, if you take on C2, and I take on E3, once again, this is attacked, this is attacked, and this is attacked. So for some reason, white didn't like that. However, he could have played rook F3, and then rook A2, and saved everything. Then the computer says black's winning anyway, because white's knights are really stupid. Okay, so Knight C2 is the winning move. And here, according to the engine, white is only slightly worse, but he's losing after King H1. He played King H1 because he was afraid of the queen and the king lined up, but he should have been more afraid of this. So he could have played rook A2 so that his bishop isn't attacking his rook, and the rook's defending c2. And then the computer says it's about equal. So that was just like king h1's a blunder, knight c2 wins, and he ended up winning. And then white never resigned, so the game never ended. And then the game ended. This is actually really nice. I like this ending. So here, it looks like you're threatening knight takes h4, but he played king g7 anyway. And this is actually pretty funny. If you take on h4, which wins a pawn, instead of doing that, he resigned. And I was confused when he resigned. I was also confused why he gave the pawn away on h4. Now, you can't play g5 because it's illegal. See how the bishop takes the king? Right? And you can't play bishop g5 because it's hanging. If you play knight f5, white takes your knight, then takes the pawn on h4. So after this, I'm threatening g5, saving my pawn, because my pawn's not pinned anymore. And if you take the pawn, I have a very simple way of trapping your knight. I play e5. Now, the king can't do Vishwa nothing. You see how the king is stuck? Right? The white king can't move. These pawns can't move. It's illegal. And if the knight goes here, you're walking into a fork. So you're like, okay, I won't play knight there. If you don't play knight there, and I go here, your knight's trapped. Yeah, so man, black was lucky, except he's not lucky. Yeah. And then white loses. White's knight's trapped. He can't move anything. He can't move either pawn or his king or his knight. Man, truth hurts.
Plays a waiting move.
Yeah, chill for it.
Yeah, but e5, e4, and I go win your knight. King g5, bishop g5, g5. Yeah. And then the computer says, roar, e5, roar. And then it says white resigns. Yeah.
Is it?
So instead of giving his knight away with knight h4, instead of allowing g5 where he's down 2 pawns for nothing, he just resigned. Okay, that was the first round. That was a long time ago. This game was very strange because it said white had a big advantage, then white resigned. Man, chess is hard. Now, as you all know, what happened to Onischuk before the US Championship started? You're my only hope because you were sort of there.
He was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He was inducted into the US Chess Hall of Fame, and now he's in last place. The truth hurts. What school did he go to?
Old school.
Yeah, he's the oldest player in the tournament, and then some. He's at least 40 or most. So if I was playing, I'd show them. I actually played a couple of round robins in St. Louis, where I was the oldest at like 46, 45, and the next person was like 22. And I was like, what? Why am I twice as old as the next? Yeah. For some reason, I didn't win those tournaments. Okay, so this game got very complicated. See how complicated it is?
Yeah.
Because black's rook is gone, but black has a nice center, right? Okay, and in the game, black said, wow, my d-pawn looks pretty good. I like that d-pawn. He said, I really like that d-pawn. And then white said, I like checkmating you. And black said, no, you don't. Yeah, and then black said, wait, my d-pawn. Yeah, this is a really, really nice way to end the game. So I'll put on training. Okay, notice if I queen, the knight can take. You agree?
Yeah.
So he played knight d5, forking the rook and the knight.
Yeah.
You can't let him play knight takes rook. That's crazy. So he moved his rook. And his idea was, you take the knight, and I'll take the pawn, and it's bishop and knight versus rook. White has an extra pawn. White has a passed pawn. And these pawns are doubled. That was his plan. Good plan. And instead of doing that, he queened. That was a brilliant sacrifice. I've never seen such a brilliant sacrifice. If you take with the knight, you lose a whole rook. So now black's up a bishop. If you take with the rook, man, that's a lot of rooks hanging. It looks like it's impossible.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so Akobian's pretty good. He queened. Yeah. That's a pretty good move. Yeah. And then he resigned, I think. Yeah. Or did this happen? Oh, this happened, then he resigned, I guess. Yeah. Okay, now what's funny about that is Akobian was killing it. He was like in first place, tied for first, second place. Then I forgot what happened. Then he lost 4 games in a row. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Now, conversely, in the women's, who won 4 games in a row? I think she won 5 games in a row. Do you remember? You were there.
Jennifer Yu.
Jennifer Yu. Right. And I was a coach at the World Youth when Jennifer Yu won the World Youth. Okay? And then the headline was, "You the man," even though, okay. Yeah. Okay, then So beat Onischuk. Man, So played well this game. Yeah, this was a funny end of the game, actually. So it's a rook and pawn ending, and white's up a pawn. And so he pushes his pawn. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And now black resigned, but let's see what should have happened. So, well, resigning was fine. He has to check, he has to take, and he has to go here. And now, material's going to be equal. See, equal material, 4 pawns each, right?
Yeah.
Problem is, I'm going to trade this pawn for this pawn, and I have a passed pawn, and you ain't doing nothing over here. There's no passed pawns there, and this king's a million times better than that king. So if I turn the engine on, you will be shocked. And I haven't turned the engine on, but I'm a grandmaster. So I'm not going to be shocked. You will, eventually, if I put on 4 C. Okay, yeah, it didn't take that long, actually. Yeah, 4 CP.
It's like a billion.
Right. So the material is equal in a king and pawn ending, and it says white's up like a queen. How long for your computer to announce mate? A minute?
No.
Less than a minute?
Five or so, I don't know.
5 seconds or 5 minutes?
5 minutes, depends on where it actually is, right? Is it mate in 18?
I would say it's made in 25, if I had to guess.
So 50 ply?
How strong?
Yeah.
50 ply
It
takes.
depends on.
Yeah, but there's no legal moves.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to explain the chess to the computer guy.
Minutes.
You.
It matters on how strong your engine is.
Yeah, his engine's the strongest. Is your engine the best in Georgia? He's like, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. There's not a whole lot of chess people doing
Yeah, right.
chess.
Yeah. So let me explain something to you. Pay attention. See this number, 4?
Yeah.
Right, the bigger that number, that's better, right? Your number is bigger than 4. What's yours?
24.
Yeah. 24 is more than 4. Yeah.
Way more.
Anyway, even though material is equal, it says white's up 1 billion, right? Because it knows that white's going to win. And so also the players know that. So after king e2, Onischuk resigned. He's like, oh well, I lose. Because this pawn majority is no good. This pawn majority actually isn't bad, but the more important thing is the king gets up. Then okay, with the king up, it's no problem. Yeah. Okay, Akobian beat Awonder. This was a blunderful game. Right, this game had the most blunders. Okay, both players were blundering every move. Okay, let me see if I remember where the blunder was. Was it here? Yeah, this was a complicated blunder. Notice the knight defends the rook because I said so.
Yeah.
Right? And now it's not defending the rook because I said so. So now white has a move that wins material, but neither player saw it.
Okay.
Based on what I just told you. It's sort of complicated for you guys, but for these guys it shouldn't be complicated.
Knight takes e6.
Close. Your knight takes was correct. Your e6 wasn't correct.
Knight takes.
Where?
Knight
You
takes.
saying the same move he did? No. Try again. Say the same move he did again. I dare you.
c6.
I said, no, knight takes was right, but not this one.
Knight takes d5.
Knight takes d5. Now, if you take with the queen, I take your rook, and your knight's not defending your rook. You agree.
Yeah.
If you take the knight with anything else, then I play queen takes queen. If you play queen takes queen, I play Zviad check, and then I take. Okay, or with the knight, yeah. So that just wins a pawn. So like knight here just hung a pawn, and then neither player saw it. Okay, then later in the game, he made a very embarrassing mistake. So they got this position, which is equal pawns, right? Okay, and white just played queen d3. I'm serious. See? You didn't believe me, but I'm showing you over and over again. What's the threat? What if white could move again? You!
Rook takes c4.
Awonder didn't see that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he played random legal move. Then rook takes c4 resigns. The truth hurts.
On the whole night.
Yep. So he hung a d pawn, white didn't take it, then he hung a knight. That's the US championship for you.
How old is it, Wonder?
15 maybe? Yeah. So very suspicious. Yeah. Now, obviously, time trouble. Otherwise, I'm embarrassed. Yeah, there has to be time trouble. You with some crazy comment. That's not crazy. Exactly. Okay, so that was very suspicious. This was the most crazy destruction ever. So they played a French defense, and they got this position. And Caruana said he was reading New in Chess magazine, which is the best chess magazine. And in the magazine, they said in this kind of position, this was a good idea. Rawr! Recommended by Ginger GM. So that was all he knew was you should do that. So he did that. And then he kept doing it. And then he's like, now you're not doing that. Okay, now the pawns attacked, so he retreated like a Frenchman. Okay, and now black lost a lot of tempi, giving white extra attacking for the pawn. In this position, you might be confused. Material is equal, and white has the 2 bishops, and black's king is on f8. That's all good for white. But white has isolated pawn, doubled pawns, and white has no development and pushes h-pawn. That's good for black. That's called a complicated position. When it's complicated, they make mistakes. When it's not complicated, it goes draw, 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 draw. Caruana doesn't want draw, 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 draw. Who wants that? Awonder. Awonder's like, could I have 11 draws, please? And then sometimes he draws not even playing. Like when he played Zherebukh and my son got mad. And they drew in 30 moves, it was all known already. Anyway, in like 5 minutes. So some players want to draw every game. Then they don't lose. Some players want to win every game because they're trying to win the tournament. Okay? Let me give you an example. Let's say Brendan was playing in the US Championship instead of one of the other players. If you had 11 draws, you'd be pretty happy.
Yes.
Right. But Caruana had 11 draws. You know who'd be happy? It's a pretty good joke. Who'd be happy if Caruana had 11 draws? Carlson. He'd be like, oh man, this is my kind of world championship opponent. Okay, so Fabiano has to win, so he makes the game complicated, and then he's playing Rufus and Doofus. Is Lenderman top 10 in the world? No. Is he top 10 in the US? Probably not. Close, maybe number 10.
Yes.
So now, black keeps taking pawns and instead of developing his pieces. Then he plays g5, wow. And then he checks, and he develops all of white's pieces. So white got 3 pieces out since my long spiel, and black played g5 and moved his queen a lot. Then white got more pieces out, and then more pieces out, and then he took this pawn, opening the g file. And now we're threatening here, winning the queen, right? Yeah, so he moved his queen, and then he moved his queen, and now he can't move his queen because there's nowhere to move. So he went here. Man, now I'm threatening this like in the Awonder game. The f-pawn's pinned. You see what I'm saying there? So if it was white's move, white would do that and you would cry. Or he would do that and you would cry. I'm not even sure which is better. I'm confused. They're both like plus 10. So let's see which is better. Rook takes plus 10. Bishop takes plus 10. Man, I must be good at chess or something. Okay, so he played knight e7 defending his knight. And then Fabiano pinned his knight. Man, harsh. Now, let me explain why none of you are good at chess. You ready? I'm going to explain it right now. If you were in a tournament and you were walking around, which you would be doing, right, during your game, and you saw this on some board near you, you would say, oh, black's up 2 pawns, and you just keep walking. Yeah, black is up 2 pawns.
Yeah, but white is winning.
White's, if only you knew how much white was winning. If you can't possibly know. You can't even understand. So white's down 2 pawns, but every black piece is on the first row or pinned or can't move. Okay, it's the worst position ever. Okay, like this is pinned, this is pinned, this is attack, and these are doing nothing. And you would be like, oh, this rook is hanging with check. Okay, but then after here, you'd be like, oh, I lose my queen. Wah. Right? You see how you lose your queen? Yeah, the truth hurts. Yeah. So, Lenderman tried to unpin his knight. He played a5, and after rook g6, he's like, oh, never mind.
This is almost like the Onischuk Kasparov game for all of
The 2 knights against the 2 bishops?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roswell Sicilian. I don't know that game.
Yeah. All Kasparov's pieces are just clustered in there.
That's one of my favorite games. How do you know that game?
Beautiful game.
But how do you know?
I just.
How do you know any games?
That's
That's one of my favorite games. Yeah, there's a Kasparov. There's an Onischuk Kasparov game where Kasparov's pieces are all in the corner there. Can't
Oh, wait, which?
Yeah. You.
Again?
Onischuk, Kasparov.
Yeah, it's from before you were born.
1991, I think.
It was in the early 90s. That's right.
Then ours.
Okay, Robson, Izoria, I don't care. Caruana,
Oh
Xiong.
yeah, Ray Robson.
Yeah, that game I don't care about much either. Zherebukh, Robson. Oh, this was a funny ending. I like this ending. This is Zherebukh, Robson. What's funny is this reminds me of what should have happened yesterday but didn't with Awonder's game, where he could take a rook and let the guy queen, but he's still winning. But Awonder didn't do that. Okay, but it did happen in this game. So it's funny. Awonder must have seen this game and still didn't do it, which is weird. Okay, so black played a3, and white took, and black's did a queen. Right, and he did queen. And then white played here, and black's like, man, this isn't good, because I'm threatening c7 check, and then I win. So he moved his king, he played c7. And then he's like, oh, you can queen, and I'll take your rook. And he said, nope, you can't take my rook, and I'm still going to queen. And he said, no, I'll take your rook. He says, nope, you can't take my rook. Yeah. And he's like, aha, I'll stop you from queening. And he's like, yeah, good job. Yeah. And black resigned, obviously. And it got announced mate here. It has to announce mate. It announced mate when I clicked it. Man, yeah. You with some crazy comment.
Right here, can't black just play queen c6?
This pawn's going this way.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was white.
Man, it's harsh. Yeah. Now, what's funny about that is that yesterday, in this position, Awonder could have done the same thing and he didn't. Here, Awonder made a bad move. He should play king f5. And after here, it's the same and he wins. And white wins. Or not here, wait, not G, not there. I'm already confused. I apologize. DE6, D6. And white's winning here. It's very similar to the other game. Black only has one check, but that check's not very helpful because I just go here. And now I'm threatening check, queen. And the computer, ooh, I don't think it's going to announce me, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Oh, it is going to announce me. It's got there pretty quick. See, white's up. Yes, it does announce mate. So it sees that white's mating black, even though white's down a queen, because those are pretty good, right? Yeah. So Awonder could have done that, and you would think after seeing the other game, he would, but he didn't. He played king takes f4. And then he won this endgame, which is winning, but he took him a while, as you can see. Yeah. Would have been better to do the other way. That would have been cool. You with some crazy comment.
Can we see the win?
Yeah, that's the end of the game. That's a lot of pawns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the pawns.
Yeah. Now if you take, I go here. Then what do you do? Here, right? Then I go here. Then you resign. Yeah. Now the computer announces mate. Yeah, I was right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll take a pause for a second to quiz you, and then you can opine. So did you see that Leela played a bullet match? Well, I don't see what the score was.
Oh yeah, that was with Entertain.
That's right. See, the little kids know what's going on.
Yeah, I read it on the blog.
Yeah, but what was the score? I heard Entertain one of the Ultra Bullet games.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Leela's not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Leela's no good, right?
Compared to
The only
the
one
Google
game
one.
33.
So if Leela plays 2 hours each match with Stockfish 9,
Stockfish 9 probably still wins.
like every game, or like it's close?
Well, Leah's gonna win it.
Did your match finish? You were running a match, right?
No, I didn't start one.
Oh, you haven't started?
Yeah, no.
He's considering it. So Leela's no good.
Yeah. Still training, right?
Yeah.
Still learning from.
But why is no, don't do that? Why is Leela no good and Alpha Zero's good if Alpha Zero's good immediately?
No, Alpha Zero had 5,000 computers crunching on the self-play game.
And what about Leela?
It's like 200 people on the internet.
Horrible.
Contributing their own.
If you can call them people.
200 machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it would probably take a couple $100,000 to recreate what Google did.
That's all?
Yeah, but there's no grandmasters out there who would, I think, have a couple $100K to spend other than the top guys. So.
You.
Carlson would definitely beat Leela.
All right.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Show him.
Yeah.
Leela's no good yet.
Rexingfield. There's your money.
It's like-
If it's 200,000, anybody can do it. Yeah. Almost I could do it, but not quite. Okay, so where was I? Caruana, Izoria. Oh, this was the famous game. This was actually a really good move. Okay. By the way, when you're watching live and they got Maurice Ashley and Yasser and the pundits, they're like, "War!" Like this was genius what he did. They should be quiet and say what a genius he was. They're like, how could Fabi lose? He was trying too hard to win. He just lost. Here, white played king d7, and black played the greatest move ever and got no accolades for it. They were just like, Fabi lost. Let me cry for an hour. Not, this is the greatest move ever. If Fabi had won this game, they would have said, this was the greatest move of all time. Instead, they said, Fabi lost. Let me cry for an hour. I'm so mad. Black played the greatest move ever in this position, ever. And instead, they were like, Fabi lost. Why did he lose? Wah. Terrible. And as you all know, well, you know it, and you might know it, who did Izoria beat who wasn't Fabi this tournament? Nakamura. So he beat Naka and Fabi in the same tournament. Yeah. You.
Was the move rook takes b6?
No, that would be a draw. It was knight takes c4, which is a win. Yeah, that's the greatest move ever. And then after takes, which is a mistake, check, and black wins. Yay! And then king f4 is good too. See, white wants to go here because I said so, right? And then black's like, nah, you don't want to do that. Yay, here comes the pawn. And now white can't do anything, so he loses. Yeah. It says white resigned after king d4. Probably white resigned here, and then they put the kings in the center. Yeah. And now every move wins, but especially that one, and any other move. And it'll probably announce mate, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you didn't know.
It says now it says mate. All these moves are mate. Although king e2 is crazy, letting him go here, which doesn't matter, but yeah. Yay. So whenever the game ends with a king going here, and it makes no sense, that didn't happen. That's the arbiters putting the kings in the middle and doing it wrong. So it says king d4 and then white resigned. That means white resigned here, and they put the kings in the middle to indicate the result. If you put the kings on dark squares, black won. On white squares, white won. On both colors, a draw. So obviously they put the kings on dark squares, and what he should have done is put the king here, then the king here, but the arbiter probably put the king here, then the king here, so they thought he played king d4. Arbiter has one job and they can't do it. Sometimes the arbiter puts the kings on the wrong squares, then fixes it, but it's already recorded the wrong way. Got one thing to do and they don't do it right. You with some crazy comment.
Who's arbiter?
What?
Who's arbiter?
Who's the arbiter? Or what is an arbiter? The person who's directing the tournament, the person in charge. So if you raise your hand, like Nakamura raises his hand, and he says, my opponent did that, my opponent's beating me, then the director says, don't do that, he's Nakamura. Yeah. And the guy's like, I can, Nakamura's terrible, I can't help it.
My opponent played e8 queen, but didn't put the queen on the board.
Oh, so I was reading the rule book 2 days ago because of something that happened in the Blitz tournament. And then nobody said anything, so there was no ruling to make. And I'm wondering if the rule book is right, because they change the rules intermittently and they don't put it in the rule book. If you make an illegal move in a Blitz game, you lose. In FIDE, for sure, if you promote the pawn and don't put the piece there and hit the clock, you lose. That's for sure. Okay. However, the USCF rule book says if you put a pawn on the 8th rank in a Blitz game and don't replace it and hit the clock, your opponent can hit the clock back, as opposed to you lose. And I'm like, you don't lose, you lose in FIDE. So that's what happened. Andrew Jiang played a queen and hit the clock and didn't put anything there. And then like he casually put a queen there on his opponent's clock. His opponent said nothing and they kept playing. And I was like, man, if his opponent said something, I would have to, like, I don't know what I would do. Because that could lose. And FIDE definitely loses, as in the game Nakamura Topolov. Also, Rex Singfield did that. And one of the silly things they do afterwards, he put a pawn in the 8th rank and hit the clock, so you lose. Because he didn't replace it. That's in a blitz game. In a slow game, you just get penalized. Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah, Topolov was winning that game against Nakamura, too.
Yeah, completely winning. Okay, that game was boring. Yeah, this game was Akobian having a big advantage. Yeah, this is really weird. In this position... Yeah, like this is weird to not play like rook here. Like, how do you not play that? How do you not play rook fc1? Like, then what does black do? What do you do? And he was like, I don't know why I didn't do that. He's like, I don't know, I wasn't playing good. Like, knight h4 is a weird move because you go here and then black, I don't know, black resigns. This is a terrible position for black. Like, what do you do here? Your knight's hanging. You move your knight, you lose your c pawn, your a pawn. What? What's wrong with these people? So yeah, then he did this, and this is like better for white also, and white lost. Yeah. And then he lost material. Yeah, this is already bad. But
Akobian hasn't had a good tournament.
he was started out well and finished bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. White lost. Terrible. Caruana Robson. Oh yeah, this was nice. He sacrificed a pawn in a Petrov. See Petrov?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and then white castled queenside, and then and then black sacrificed a pawn. And what's funny is, he said, oh yeah, in this position, he said, I know bishop e6 is okay, but I want to win, so I sack the pawns, I try to win. Like, he already knew this position before the game. And he was like, yeah, the pawn sack's probably okay. Yeah. Then white made a move that if my student made it, I would go to jail for murder. Because I would kill my student. They would die and I go to jail. Although if the judge saw what happened, maybe they wouldn't, yeah. And Caruana, who never says anything bad about his opponent, even he said something. Caruana never says anything like, oh, my opponent sucked. But he said something about this move.
Yeah.
Does it break one of your rules?
I mean, it's just a move nobody would ever play. So, white's up a pawn, and black has great compensation. Probably black's better, because that's a good bishop. Yeah, that's a nice bishop. Yeah, he played a4.
Yeah.
Man, moving the pawn in front of his king. And then he got checkmated on the a file. I don't know about that move. And then after the game, he's like a4 is just suicidal. Yeah. So like the a file got opened. Now that's checkmate because you see what I'm saying? You can't open the a file to your king. You can't do that.
What do you think he was thinking there?
Yeah, now you're threatening like this, mate. I don't know. He's crazy. Yeah. Caruana's like a4. Yeah, even he said something. He's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he got torn to shreds on the a file. Yeah. Yeah. And then he resigned. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his king was perfectly safe in there, and then he opened up his king. Now that's a safe king. Now we're talking. Yeah. Well, one guy's world class, and one guy's like, okay. So that's what happened. Yeah. A4, wow, crazy. Caruana, Akobian. Yeah, he tore up Akobian too. And this is the part you kids will like. You guys are kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the announcer was like, this looks like a bug house game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing bug house.
Yeah.
Both kings are running around, acting crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the black's king's no good. Yeah, then black resigned because it's mate in 1 or 2.
White is Fabiano Caruana, right?
That's correct. Yeah, but it looks like bug house. Look at that, they both push all their pawns. Rawr. I like king d2 because you see how the pawn's gonna queen?
Yeah.
So king d2.
That's
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of the game Harry Lee Ben Finegold.
Oh yeah.
Except my opponent didn't play king d2, so I won a piece. Yes. You guys here for that? You guys saw that?
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a game I played 4 weeks ago. It was an extra rated game. Okay. And in this position,
So the dragon.
yeah, my opponent played f3, which is a mistake. And then in this position, he has to play bishop b3, but he played here, which is a blunder. And then I played here, which he missed. And then he played here, and I played here. And now white only has one move to continue the game, which he did not find. Also, I just told you what it was.
King D2.
King D2. Huh. Defends the knight and the rook. But he didn't find that. So he castled, and I took that. So I won. I'm the best. Yeah. King D2. If only he had seen the game from the future, where he played King D2. Bam. Yeah. Also, if I'm not mistaken, 3 years ago in Gibraltar, let's see, search, MVL was white against, I think it was Ding Liren, but it might have been Yu Yangyi, so I'm getting confused here. And then white won, and it was 2014 to 2016, and it was a Carol Khan, so C00 to C30. Is that right?
Sure.
I'm just looking for a King D2 example to show the class. Let's see. This isn't good. This isn't good. It can't be 2017. Oh, I pushed the wrong ECO code. That was my fault. I pushed the French defense one. Yeah, that I meant B00 to B30. Yeah, what a potser. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, there we go. So you guys thought I was insane?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, this is the wrong game. This isn't the game. Dang. Alright, so I did make it up. Darn. Was it before 2014? I don't think I remember stuff from that far back, but it's possible.
Or 2015?
That's not before, but thanks.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's do... Yeah. No, that's not it. That's not it. Why is he playing Ding so much and beating him? He's not beating Ding now. Who else? No. It was from Gibraltar, that I remember. But I can't find, it's a King D2 example. Okay, I resign. It's important to resign. Okay, then Izoria beat Naka 92 moves, and this drawn rook and pawn ending. Now, if you want to play an endgame badly, watch Black's play. Right? He moves his king as far away as possible. He's like King D7, King C7. No, before that. He like moved his king up, then he moved it back.
What?
Yeah, King F7?
Yeah.
King F7? What kind of move is that? What? Well, King F7? Who's teaching this guy to play the endgame? Wow. I mean, then I'll get back T6. Yeah, that is the worst move ever. Yeah, now he's just lost. Yeah. What's funny is when the game ended, with the Karu losing on time, the computer says like +1 billion for white, but he didn't know if he was losing. He was like outside going, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there for this?
Yeah, this is the one where he lost on time.
Right, when he lost on time, everybody's like, wow, he lost on time. When I was like, well, his opponent's is +50, so it doesn't matter. But he didn't know he was losing. He like, I'm probably losing, but I don't know. But yeah, like obviously losing, right? Every move wins too. It's not like one move wins. They all win. Yeah, the king's over here. If the king was over here, that'd be a draw. So every move wins, and also table base and so forth. Yeah. And you're surprised it doesn't announce mate. You're like, what? Why is it announcing mate? I'm mad. Yeah. But yeah, +47 is pretty good. Yeah. So Hikaru lost on time here. Now, you guys are confused, not you, but the rest of you are, because what you don't realize is they're doing something you've never done before, and you've never done it either. And you've never done it. And I've done it, but it's rare. They're playing with a 30-second increment. That means when they make a move and hit the clock, they get 30 more seconds.
Oh my god.
So every move you make, you have at least 30 seconds. We call that the Karen rule. No. And so losing on time is weird. That means that he thought more than 30 seconds here, let his time run out. That's like weird. Because when his time ran out, he was like, what? My time's out? Not like letting his time run out because he's lost. Because he wasn't sure he was lost, but he's pretty lost. Yeah. So terrible. This was the equal ending that Lenderman won. Nobody cares about that. Okay, this is a funny game.
Oh my god.
Okay, so, yeah, but it was bishop and knight. Now, this is why this is funny. So when I was doing my 12-hour stream, I'd already heard that it was bishop and knight, but I didn't see. And somebody on my stream text wrote, do you know how long it took Robson to beat Akobian with bishop and knight? And I said, well, Robson, about 27 moves. And it was 27 moves. They're like, right, 27 moves. I figured Robson takes a 27 moves. Okay, so I knew exactly how long it took him. And then what happened was Akobian tried to claim a triple repetition, but he didn't do it in the right position. Because there was a triple repetition. So this is just a draw, it's all zeros. Computer says dead draw. And then they repeated the position 1,000 times, but it was weird how they did it.
There was two there. That was the third one.
Yeah, yeah, but when he did claim it, it wasn't the third time. It was like like after the third time or something. Yeah. So let's see if I can figure it out. You already figured it out.
I thought I saw it. Yeah.
So okay, so this is 1. I think it's this position, and then click here, 2, right? And then that's not 3.
That's not it.
Dang, I didn't do it right.
No, I think it's the check when the king's up.
Here's 3. Here's 3. Okay, so, wait a minute. Is it black's move now? I'm confused. So where's 1? 1 is here. Oh, so there was a third, but there wasn't a third when he claimed it. And then this is 2. Oh, wait, that's not 2. Wait, where's 1 and 2? Okay, this is 1. This is 1. Rip D4. Now if I click this, it's 2, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not right. This is 2. Yes.
Yeah.
But this is white's turn to move. And this is white's turn to move. And this is black's turn to move. So you can't claim it.
It wasn't a repetition.
That wasn't, I thought it was 3 times at some point, but now I can't find out where it was. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe it never was. So this position occurred 3 times, but the first 2 times it was white's turn to move, and now it's black's turn to move, so it's different. You can't claim it here. Anyway, the game's a draw, and then he didn't draw it, he lost. Eventually he made a mistake, and white won the rook. You know who lost bishop and knight versus king at a US championship? I'll give you a hint, they're in this room.
Ben Finegold.
Yeah, against? Yeah, you guys got nothing. Shabalov. Yeah, he didn't have any trouble at all. He beat me in like 1 move. He didn't think any of the moves either. Yeah. I do this a lot on my stream. I win with this. Now here, Akobian made a bad move. Played here. So, there's 2 things we know how to do. When the king is in the right corner, we know how to mate you. When it's in the wrong corner, we know how to mate you. When it's not there, we have to get you to one of those corners. So you don't run to the corner, because we know how to do that. So he should have gone anywhere but here. Like anywhere. That's the worst move. Because now and then he did it again. Yeah. Okay, this we know how to do. Now here he did something weird. Instead of mating him here, which is what you're supposed to do, he mated him here, which took like 2 moves longer. So he decided he was going to mate him here now, which was a really weird decision, because it took him like 3 extra moves. Like you go here, and you go here, and you go here. And just turn your head sideways if you're confused. But he did it the other way, which took more moves. This is the same position, just it's turned. But he did that on purpose, obviously. I'm like, what? I guess he wanted to see it straight on. He wasn't worried, I guess. Didn't want to do it sideways. So,
You're talking fast.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And I've done this a million times. Usually I go here, but I think raised move is better. Or maybe it's the same, because I play king there also. Yeah. Yeah, I've done this mate a million times. I've never played this move. I always play this move. But maybe his move is a move quicker. Mate. So what you do is when you have this position, if it's white's turn to move, you play check and mate like he did, right? If it's black's turn to move, he goes here, and you play knight check, and then the bishop mate, which is the same place for your pieces. Just whichever one's check. Yeah. Yeah. That happened 3 days ago. And then Liang, Lenderman. This was crazy what happened. This was a dead equal position, and then white lost in like 4 moves. Like this is just equal. And then he sacrificed a piece. After f5, here, he didn't move his knight. He played here, and the guy took his knight. See how he took his knight? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, then he resigned because he's down a knight. Then he resigned.
What is that?
I don't know.
Probably saw something where he was going to...
Crazy like Fox News. Yeah.
I bet he thought he was going to get it.
I guess he's not one of the top 10 players in the world. Yeah. And then this was a terrible game. Like, black was better out of the opening, and then he outplayed him and got outplayed and lost. He got his bishop trapped. So here he played f5. Hooray! Stopping e4 forever, but trapping his own bishop, which is still a good move. After f3, the bishop can't move, so white wants to play knight d1 to f2, take the bishop, and he did, and he was up a bishop, and he won.
Can we see the end?
Yeah, the very end, he's up a piece. Yay, so he has an extra knight. Yeah, but he lost a piece, so it was terrible. Boo! Then Onischuk Shankland was boring. This was good. This was weird because he played rook f1 attacking the queen, then he resigned before black moved. Which is really unusual, but if you turn on the kibitzer, it says black's really winning. Yeah. He's like, okay, never mind, I resign. That was a very nice game. He got total domination of e5. See the knight on e5? And then he plays knight d3, and then back to e5. Yeah, that's a good knight on e5. See the bishop doing this? Rawr! Yeah, he ended up taking that too. He took everything. See this position? He took that with check, then took that.
Yeah, Fabio played some very convincing games where he got some very early advantage.
No, yeah, that game was great. Yeah, against Zherebukh. And then, yeah, this was a drawn king and pawn ending, and the guy they didn't play it right. Okay, so there were a lot of mistakes in this game from here. So this should be a draw, but black's better. Okay, so king f7. Now white has to play h4, blocking it up, all blocked up. But he blundered with this. And now, this is really funny that king g6 wins, the move he played doesn't win because of the tempo war. Okay, so after here, e4, then you go here. And then white's going to be in zugzwang. But instead he played here, and now h4 draws again, and he played here losing. And they lost. Now you can't play h4, because king g4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but black's going to play h4. So, also white has to move here. Yeah, now look at the numbers. White resigns, right?
Yeah.
So here, equal, right? And then here, white resigns. So b5, worst move ever. And no time trouble, move 43. At move 40, they get extra time. So without time trouble, he didn't play h4 drawing, he played b5 losing. Yeah, and they lost. Yep, and white's in zugzwang here. White can't move. If white plays here, king g4 wins, right? So he moved his king, and then he's getting outflanked over here. And now he has to move again. And now he has to move again. And then he decided not to resign, which doesn't make any sense. Not resigning here is weird. Then he resigned. So that wasn't a good endgame. That's the only game Jeffrey won, was a drawn king upon endgame. Terrible. Oh, I didn't show you the opening, which will confuse the class. You guys like being confused?
No.
Yeah, this is a really cool opening. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Confusing the class. Yeah. Now, if you take, and I take, forking your king and knight, so you take, then queen b6 check gets my piece back. Complicated. So he didn't do that, he just took on e3. The computer said white's better, then black was better immediately, because this is too complicated for these noobs.
That confused Yasser. He was very confused.
Yeah, now you should be. Yeah, Yes doesn't like any of that tactics. He likes when it's really boring. And then Akobian's king ran all over the board, then he resigned. Yeah, he's like, wait, let me move my king all over the board. So they got this position, which is crazy. Then Akobian made a lot of king moves. And even the endgame, he got checkmated. There was a nice tactic that Nakamura missed here, which I don't blame him. Yeah, so Akobian blundered here with knight c6. Yeah, this was very nice. So he should play knight f7. He's winning. What he did wins, but watch this tactic. Now what do you do? It's not hard.
D7.
Rook d7, your rook's attacked. Here, can you defend your bishop? Nope. So you take the knight. And now, the only way to defend your knight is to go here, but then you lose your rook. Otherwise you lose your knight.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So for a computer, that's like 1/1,000,000th of 1 second. Now for Nakamura sees a lot of stuff. Nakamura's obviously having the worst tournament ever. That like even though he won, he didn't see that. That's a Nakamura specialty, like a tactic. Yeah. He played this and won anyway, but he didn't see knight f7. Yeah. Yeah. Terrible. And he won anyway. Yeah, because the pawn's pretty good, right? Knight there check's pretty nice. If you take the knight, I queen, you agree. If you go here, I win your knight, you agree.
Sure.
And if you play king a5, I fork your king and bishop.
Nice.
Yeah, so knight c5 is a nice finishing move. Yeah.
King a7.
So now it's going to announce mate, maybe. I don't know, announce mate. Yeah, it might. Oh, we'll announce mate. Wow.
Oh, and that's
And truth hurts. Mate in 41 on 2 CPUs. Yeah. And then we saw this already with Izoria losing to Awonder. Yeah. So today, the final insult. Today's the last round, as I said at the beginning of the lecture. So for those of you who are confused, like you three, this is the U.S. Championship. Now, let's see who the smartest is. Let's call in a random person. You! Ready? This tournament that I'm showing you, what's first place?
what?
You get Magnus Carlsen, take him home. What's the first prize? What prize do you win if you win? How much money? Just guess. Guess anything.
$1 million?
Good guess. Now, how about a real guess?
10,000.
Much better guess. Yeah, although I like your answer better. All right, you were there.
First place, 100,000.
You.
200K.
I like their answers. Yeah, the correct answer is 50,000
Oh, 50.
if you win the U.S. Championship. Now, if I asked you that question 20 years ago, the answer would have been 2,500 or 3,000. That would have been the answer. Yeah, the answer is better now. Yeah. So these are the pairings. Shankland's in clear first, playing Awonder. Caruana's in clear second, playing Onischuk. And Wesley's in clear third, playing Naka. And these are the standings because I said so. Wait, where are they? There it is. See over here where it says Shankland, Caruana, so. See all that? And then Onischuk's in last. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Then he loses all his games. Right? Tough. And then Akobian was in first place after 4 rounds. Now he's fighting for last place. Tough tournament. Yay. Also going on is the U.S. Women's Championship. And since we're on camera, I can't say it's the Special Olympics, so I won't. Right? If we weren't on camera, though, I could make a lot of jokes. So the person winning the U.S. Women's is Annie Wang. She's 15 years old. She's in first place, half a point ahead of Nazi Pakidze. So there's 1 round left. First prize in the women's, $25,000 plus tax. Now that's not a lot of money to you guys, but when you're 15, that's a lot of money. You.
So, are these people in the tournament above 2,700?
Above what?
2,700.
What do you say, 27?
2,700.
Some of them are. Yeah. Nakamura is, Caruana is, and so is. Now, today, if Shankland wins, then he's also 2,700. Also. Yeah, and it's funny, when you look at the top list, you see all these good players lower than Shankland, which doesn't make any sense. So 2700.com, chess.com, that's all the 2700s. So if Shankland wins today, he'll be here ahead of some famous people that are better than him. Because they're not better than him anymore. Yeah. And then if you look at the top, Caruana's number 2, So's number 8, Nakamura's number 10. When the tournament started, they were all in the top 7. And So and Nakamura lost rating points. Now, let's see who's the smartest.
Wow.
Name the 2 people, if you can call them people, in the U.S. Championship who haven't lost a game yet. Shankland and?
Caruana.
Just watched.
We saw the game Caruana lost. against Izoria. No, you got nothing? No?
Wesley so?
Wesley So. 2 wins, 8 draws. And then I think Shankland has 5 wins and 6 draws. Or 5 wins and 5 draws. Is that right? 5 wins and 5 draws? 7.5. Yeah. There it is. It shows you when you see it says. Yeah. 5 wins and 5 draws, pretty good. Up 27 rating points FIDE. I did that once. I gained 43 rating points in one tournament. But I was like 23 something. 26. You with some crazy comments in the class.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget it. Yeah. All right, to end the class, who speaks better Italian? Caruana or Nakamura? Nakamura. Yeah. Yeah, it is Nakamura. Let's see, Sunday Scholastic. No, somebody registered. No, anything but that. Ooh, I can get something from Target. You're my favorite chess streamer after Magnus? When Magnus streams, doesn't say anything. He just sits there and like makes funny faces. What? How can he be his famous streamer? All right, class dismissed.